joining me today. I'm Leslie Cadet, self-care coach, ready, willing, and able to help you prioritize self-care so that it supports you in life and business. And I'm truly passionate about the topic we're going to discuss today, the importance of taking mental breaks for self-care. In our fast-paced world, it's so easy to get caught up in the constant flow of responsibilities, work, and obligations. In fact, in the legal industry, a field that I've been in over the past 4 decades of my life, I've noticed that work hours have become longer and our personal lives have taken a back seat. Today, I want to emphasize the critical need to pause, to breathe, and to take a moment for ourselves. Neglecting mental well-being can lead to burnout, but when we prioritize regular mental breaks, we can nurture our minds and avoid the pitfalls of overexertion. Our minds are powerful, but they also need to rest and rejuvenate. And it's not a matter of choosing to give that to ourselves. It's a matter of needing that for ourselves. Without taking dedicated moments to rest our minds, we risk overwhelming ourselves, leading to increased stress, fatigue, and diminished cognitive abilities. Just as our bodies need rest after physical exertion or to sleep so that our bodies repair and re-energize, our minds also need breaks to recharge and maintain a healthy balance in our lives. Now, it's essential to recognize that mental breaks are not a sign of weakness. They're necessary to support our overall well-being. One of the beautiful benefits of taking mental breaks and intentionally incorporating them into your day-to-day is that they can be tailored to suit your individual needs. Whether it's stepping away from work, engaging in activities that bring you joy and relaxation, or simply allowing yourself moments of quiet contemplation and mindfulness, you have the power to choose what works best for you. I truly believe that because I believe that self-care is not a one-size-fits-all model. It should fit your lifestyle, which means self-care your way, by you, for you. One way that you can facilitate taking breaks in your busy routines is to set timers when working on tasks. Now, some women I know use the Pomodoro effect, which is working for 25 minutes with 5-minute breaks. And if you would then take longer breaks, typically 15 to 30 minutes after you've completed maybe 4 consecutive 25-minute work intervals. What I've found that works for me is that I allocate no more than 60 minutes to focus on one task, and then I take a 15 to 30-minute break. During those break times, I step away from everything, including my phone. And that's only unless I'm using my phone to listen to a podcast while I'm on my 30-minute walk. Otherwise, no, for the purposes of taking that break, that means that I'm stepping away from all tech. And that's no emails, no text messages, no telephone calls, and no social media, because going from one screen to another is not giving your brain a rest. So making sure that you incorporate mental breaks into your daily routine offers you an invaluable opportunity to disconnect from the noise and demands of the outside world. It creates space for introspection and self-reflection, allowing us to tune into our inner thoughts, our emotions, and our needs. Now, I want to tell you a story about a woman called Sarah, a passionate and ambitious solopreneur in her mid-30s. She runs her own online coaching business, offering personalized wellness programs to her clients. Sarah is deeply committed to helping others, and her dedication to her work is unwavering. As a woman wearing all the hats in her business, she manages everything from marketing and client communication to program development and admin tasks. Her days are filled with back-to-back coaching sessions, creating content, and managing the business operations. In the beginning, Sarah's drive and determination paid off. Her coaching business gained traction quickly, and she attracted a steady stream of clients. However, as her client base expanded, so did her workload. And instead of taking mental breaks throughout her day, Sarah pushed herself to work harder, which meant longer hours, believing that she needed to be constantly available for her clients, because if she wasn't really serving them well. That's what she thought. Now, at first, the demand seemed manageable, but over time, Sarah started to notice the toll it was taking on her well-being. She began experiencing exhaustion, anxiety, and difficulty concentrating. Even though she knew she needed a break, Sarah hesitated to take time off because she feared that stepping away from her business, even for a short little while, would result in lost opportunities and income. As the months went by, her emotional and physical health began to suffer. The stress and burnout started to affect her ability to deliver quality coaching sessions, and her once enthusiastic approach to her work decreased. She knew she needed help, but she felt trapped, unable to take a break without financial repercussions. One day, Sarah reached a breaking point. The emotional toll of her relentless work schedule had left her feeling drained and disconnected. Recognizing that she couldn't continue like this, she made a difficult decision to take a 3-month sabbatical from her coaching practice. During that time off, she focused on her mental well-being. She sought the help of a therapist and attended weekly sessions to address her burnout and emotional exhaustion. She also embraced mindfulness practices, spending time in nature and reconnecting with loved ones. However, taking time off came with a cost. During those 3 months, Sarah estimated that she lost around $50,000 in potential revenue, along with weekly therapy sessions at $160 per session, adding up to almost another $2,000 that she had not factored into her monthly costs. While the financial impact was significant, though, she realized the price of not taking care of herself was even greater. Throughout her therapy sessions, she discovered the extent to which burnout had affected her life. She had shut herself off from friends and family, sacrificing personal relationships to keep her business afloat. She'd neglected her own needs, pouring all her energy into her clients while ignoring her own well-being. Through therapy, Sarah learned the importance of incorporating mental breaks into her daily routine because she understood that self-care wasn't a luxury, it was an absolute necessity. By prioritizing her well-being, she could sustain her business in the long run and serve her clients more effectively. As Sarah gradually returned to her coaching practice, she made a commitment to herself. She implemented dedicated mental breaks throughout her day, which allowed her time to recharge and refocus. And by setting boundaries and managing her workload more effectively, she found that she could still deliver exceptional value to her clients without sacrificing her own health. Through her experience, Sarah became an advocate for mental breaks and self-care within her industry. She shared her story openly with her clients and peers, encouraging them to prioritize their well-being and take time to nurture their minds. Today, she continues to thrive in her coaching business, but with a newfound sense of balance and self-awareness. She's come to understand that taking care of herself is not only beneficial for her health and happiness, but also crucial for the success and sustainability of her business. Now, had Sarah ignored the signs of burnout and chosen not to take the much needed 3-month sabbatical, the consequences could have been even more severe. As her physical and mental exhaustion persisted, her performance at work would have continued to decline, to suffer, and her client base would have started to dwindle as word spread about the decline in the quality of her work. The cost of not taking time off would begin to add up, not just in terms of her well-being, but also in financial losses. With her declining productivity, missed deadlines, and dissatisfied clients, her business revenue would take a significant hit, and potential clients would seek services elsewhere. And her existing clients would start looking for other agencies to fulfill their coaching needs, their self-care, their wellness needs. These financial implications would further be exacerbated by her deteriorating health. As her burnout worsens, she begins experiencing physical symptoms like frequent headaches, insomnia, and digestive issues. And this could lead to additional medical expenses, including doctor visits and medication costs. And the toll of her burnout would begin to extend to her personal life. Her emotional state would be in turmoil, and she'd become increasingly withdrawn and isolated from her friends and family. And what was once the vibrant and passionate woman would now be a shell of her former self, disconnected with the people she loved. And with no support system to lean on, her emotional well-being would spiral even further downward. The loneliness and emotional exhaustion would be overwhelming, and she'd start asking herself questions questioning herself, her ability to lead her business effectively. This self-doubt and lack of confidence would only fuel her burnout, creating that vicious cycle that would seem impossible to escape. And as her business would continue to suffer, she would face the harsh reality that she might need to shut it down altogether. The thought of losing everything she'd built over the years would weigh heavily on her, and she would feel like she would be at a point of no return. Now, she'd reach a breaking point, right? And her physical and mental health would deteriorate to such an extent that she'd have to be maybe even hospitalized due to a severe burnout-induced breakdown. This would result in prolonged absence from her business, compounding the financial losses and making it even harder to regain her footing once she returned. And the financial toll would extend to her therapy sessions, which she would need to attend to address these overwhelming emotional burden, would come at a cost, right? Because it would be adding an additional financial strain during an already challenging time. So if she had ignored it and not taken the 3 months off and addressed her burnout, Sarah would have found herself in a far more difficult situation. The financial cost, emotional toll, and potential damage to her business and personal life would be immeasurable. Now, this story of Sarah is a hypothetical scenario, and it's based on several conversations that I've had with several women over the past months around their own experiences around burnout, and including some of my own experiences around burnout, because I was at a crossroads where I, at one point, was wanting to quit. And this came to me more than one time because I was ignoring the signs and would bring myself all the way back to that chronic stress and burnout stage where I ended up having to take some time away from everything and lose the momentum and have to build it back up. I want to remind you that this can happen when you neglect your self-care and you ignore signs of burnout, and the financial and emotional costs of pushing ourselves can be severe and have long-lasting repercussions, reminding us that it's important to prioritize self-care and taking those mental breaks to maintain that healthy and sustainable life and business. Now, it's crucial to recognize that mental breaks are not a luxury, right? They're not. They're an essential investment in your well-being on a daily basis. Honoring your need for mental breaks throughout your day enhances your overall productivity, your creativity, your focus, and your mental clarity. Giving yourself daily mental breaks helps you become more resilient and better equipped to handle challenges that come your way. These breaks will provide you with the mental space you need to make well-informed decisions and navigate life's complexities and challenges more effectively. So my call to action to you today is to encourage you to make regular mental breaks a priority in your daily routines so that you learn to embrace moments of stillness and reflection, allowing your mind to rest, recover, and replenish, and make this a lifestyle choice to support your life and business. So thanks for tuning in today. I'd love to hear your feedback, so please leave me a comment. I make sure that I read them as they come in and I respond. And please be sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, so you get reminders of my new content, which I post weekly. And share this video if you know someone who really needs to start focusing on their self-care, because maybe they are on the road to burnout. Maybe they don't know what self-care really means. Essentially, not just like the soft self-care tips like getting mani-pedis and massages, but maybe they need to really focus in on the things that really matter so that they support not only their personal life, but their business, their professional life as well. Anyways, until next week, I want to say thank you. And until next week, take care of you the best you can, because when you do that, not only do you get the best of you, but so will everyone and everything else in your life. Thanks for watching. I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.